Hi, everybody, and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne, and we are at the beautiful Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs, one of our most popular and one of our oldest parks. We're here because a little bit later on, we're going to introduce you to our new historic preservation officer. She's already made a couple trips out here and loves what she sees when it comes to Las Vegas history. But first, let's talk about this current class of Las Vegas Fire and Rescue recruits. They recently got a break from training at the regular training center, and Sue Levitt was there as they got the very valuable practice of fighting a real structure fire.
All right, when we go on the roof, you'll have full turnouts on. Pause through the air pack so you get the full feel of it. Work on the solve the air pack on.
You've earned the ability to be able to get a chainsaw in your hand and work appropriately. If you're at this station, you will not do anything else but pay attention to what's going on, visualizing in your head and preparing for your turn to cut with the saw. Understood?
Yes, sir.
This is probably one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. Getting to actually go up on that roof right there and cut with the chainsaw. That's one of the most exhilarating experiences I've had.
On ladder.
Copy, on ladder.
Sawyer Epstein is among 33 recruits here today, getting the chance to train on an actual home, something recruits in the past have not been fortunate enough to do.
You're going to find your back rafter, come forward. We're going to have a center rafter, a second center rafter, and then you'll find your fourth rafter.
It gets them away from the training center, and it's a different environment, and it's a different structure to look at. So they're used to looking at the tower all the time, and they know it. You know what I mean? They know the rooms, they know the ins and outs. So here is something completely different, and it makes it more real world for them too. So that's why it's invaluable training that they get to have. That no, we don't get every academy. Every once in a while we'll get something like this, but this is fantastic for these recruits.
This old house is going to be torn down tomorrow, so the recruits are going to have all day to train, cut through the walls, and saw through an actual roof. This is pretty cool and invaluable training they just can't get at our training center.
You get to see it hands-on, and that's what's really great. You know, actually using the K-12s and the chainsaws and going through the actual motions instead of reading it in a book. It's totally different.
Yeah, see, he can use that, push it into the ground. See how I did that? That's what I'm talking about. That was good, D. We get to go through and tear down absolutely everything. We get to tear to the ground if we can. You open up from around it and check for charring on the plywood where the flue is touching. Okay, if we get a flue fire, an actual fireplace and a fire.
By training in a home the recruits are not familiar with, they're forced to pay attention and really listen to instructions and also be aware of their surroundings.
Every house is different, every call will be different. This one in particular has a lot of add-ons from different contractors in different decades. So this is an older property, but it has additions on it from only like 10 years ago. So it's interesting to see how this is so unique.
The owner of the home had the chance to stop by to watch the recruits in action.
I think it's great that that they can get some use out of it, out of the property too. That besides just demoing it and pushing it over, if they can get some value out of tearing it down.
I love these academies, and I love the fact that these recruits get out here and they get to do some extra training. So it's neat. Off ladder.
For City Beat, I'm Sue Levitt.
If you think you'd like to be a member of Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, they're recruiting the next class right now through November 11th. Just go to lasvegasnevada.gov/firejobs. Thank you, Sue Levitt, for that story. We're going to stay on the fire theme. Recently, our fire department hosted more than 100 bomb experts and inspectors here for a 4-day conference. The idea was to get a look and some hands-on experience with some of the latest equipment. For them, it was a little bit of fun. For us, it's assurance that we are in the best hands in the event of an emergency. To the untrained eye, this looks like a heavy-duty washing machine, but bomb experts know it's a total containment vessel, or TCV. And along with robots, it does the dangerous task of collecting, transporting, and detonating explosives.
We'll set this up, open the door in a safe place, go back to our command post, and the robot will bring the device up into here, place it in this tray, push it in, and then hit this button here, and the whole door will close. And as you can see, it's pretty stoutly built. This is, about 4 or 5 inches of steel, and it's also got a lead shielding for any kind of radioactive element. Sometimes bombers like to use radioactive, elements in their device to create a dirty bomb.
Mark Duncan is a bomb technician and fire inspector with Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. He's one of the members of the department hosting and demonstrating at this important conference.
We'll start robotically and try to finish the operation robotically, but sometimes if robots go down, the batteries die, they break. So we're always ready to put on the 90-pound bomb suit and go downrange and do our job.
Demonstrations like the workings of the TCV round up a 4-day conference of vendor exhibits and classes for members of the Region 1 International Association of Bomb Technicians and Investigators.
We have about 100 delegates here from all over the western U.S. They're all, like I said, they're all public safety bomb technicians. I believe we have some military EOD from Nellis Air Force Base, but vendors come here to showcase their new wares and tools and techniques, and the bomb techs come here to learn and get in-service training.
Fire low!
This is the first year Las Vegas hosted the conference. The Region 1 members, all from the West Coast, Alaska and Hawaii, feel our fire department is uniquely qualified to host because of the outstanding caliber of our department and the community it serves.
Vegas, because of your unique situation here, we have a lot of high-rise buildings, and of course we've talked about October 1 here and kind of done a debrief on that for the other people so we can learn from the lessons learned of that situation. Well, this bomb squad here has got particular answers for dealing with high-rise buildings.
The sessions provide a chance for ideas to be exchanged between the various departments and also give the technicians and inspectors the training they are required to have in order to keep up with the latest technology.
The training never ends, regardless of titles and rank. Myself included, I'm required to get that training, the weekly, the monthly, and the annual training. And the reason I bring up regardless of rank is because even with the rank and the title, if I don't keep up with my training, my mandatory training, I get stripped of all that as well.
Along with members of fire departments, there were also representatives from our military there as well. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to introduce you to the City of Las Vegas' new Historic Preservation Officer. Wait until you hear the experience she brings to our city. Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Robert Everett. Robert is a maintenance worker and has been with the city for 20 years. Robert is a go-to employee in our operations and maintenance department and has truly taken ownership of keeping our community clean. We have all seen the damage done to our desert when people take advantage of our undeveloped surroundings by dumping unwanted items in those areas. Old furniture, tires, paint, and trash are dumped, creating blighted and sometimes hazardous conditions. When Robert spots unwanted debris, he works closely with our Department of Public Safety to investigate, then make sure the materials are safely removed and disposed of properly. For all you do to keep our community clean and safe, we congratulate you, Robert Everett, the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers' dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
School's out forever.
School out with fever.
place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. And it can happen in every place.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
Welcome back to City Beat from Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs. You know, it used to be when you would use the words Las Vegas and history in one sentence, people thought you were complaining about the fact that we don't have any history. Nothing could be farther from the truth. In fact, we have tourists and locals alike who love to visit our historic places, such as Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs. And now we have a new historic preservation officer who is dying to uncover and continue to embrace our history here in Las Vegas. And to say that she is uniquely qualified for the job is an understatement. Dr. Diane Seabrand hit the ground running as our new historic preservation officer. Only weeks into taking the post, she's meeting with the grants manager of the Neon Museum in their warehouse, learning more about the internationally acclaimed museum and determining how she can further expose our entertainment history to the public. This is a bit more glamorous than where and what she did for much of her career in historic preservation. Dr. Seabrand was a contractor with the U.S. State Department in Iraq for 7 years.
And what that means is we did a number of projects, bricks and mortar projects, or more soft diplomacy, human-to-human projects. And some of the projects that I managed included the refurbishments at the Iraq National Museum, which many people saw the unfortunate looting of during the height of the war in 2003.
Aside from brick and mortar projects, Dr. Seabrand worked with archaeologists there, bringing them up to date on techniques to preserve their history.
So we were able to come in and send a lot of those Iraqi specialists to different museums and institutions, universities in the United States. And they were able to either do a workshop or an internship or some type of programming lasting from a couple weeks to several months and interacting with their American counterparts. And that they were able to bring that knowledge and that skill set back to Iraq.
She also did some work with the military on cultural awareness. As she explains, during the beginning of the war, construction was unknowingly done on or near sensitive archaeological areas.
We're able to put forth programs that trained soldiers, airmen, Marines on how to respect that cultural heritage. And since then, there have been now contingencies in place that when the military is going to build a base, they need to do an archaeological survey. And if they find pottery or they find anything that looks ancient or historical, they need to engage with the local archaeology community.
Now the city of Las Vegas will be the beneficiary of her experiences across the world.
My experience running and managing and maintaining projects like that to success is what I think I'm bringing to the city of Las Vegas for your heritage here.
Dr. Seabrand has wasted no time exploring some of our historical spots like the Boneyard and Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs, but says our history here goes back farther than the time we were established as a city.
Most people think of the history of Las Vegas from that 1905 mark. And yes, it is. That's when the Europeans came here, and that is the European history, but it goes back further than that. What attracted me to come here was to learn more about that. I'm always happy to learn things. I never want to stop learning. and find out, talk to people, get out in the communities, get out to the different sites, get out to the different venues and talk to the museum curators here, talk to the archaeologists here, and find out what's important to them.
She hopes to grow public awareness on all of our history. She believes there's a real thirst among locals and tourists to learn more about our past and draws an interesting correlation between our neon beginnings and our Wild West history.
Fremont Street, you know, there were the lines of people waiting to get their picture under the martini sign. And at the park, there were people taking pictures next to all these old buildings. And to me, what that says is that even if the people don't really know the history of why that thing or that material culture is important, they find it relevant enough to take a picture with it.
Dr. Seabrandt's love for uncovering the past and preserving it will serve us well as we continue to show the world that the entertainment capital of the world is rich in history and culture as well.
I bring with me, I think, a diversity that is able to cover, again, the whole history of Las Vegas, from the dinosaurs that were here to the, the first peoples that were here to the Paiutes that were here and the European settlers that came in. And then I'm just able to help with that.
Just before coming to Las Vegas, Dr. Seabrandt was a freelance historic preservation officer in Washington, D.C. Welcome to Las Vegas, Dr. Seabrandt. Well, just about any time of year is a good time to visit one of our city parks, like Floydland Park at Tule Springs. But now that things are cooling off and the trees are beginning to change, it's really a great time. We decided to catch up with one of our great staff members from Parks and Rec to get some ideas on what to do in the park during the fall. Las Vegas city leaders have always been committed to providing great open spaces and trails for residents and visitors. In fact, there are currently 81 parks in city limits, and by the end of this year, there will be 84. And this is a beautiful time to enjoy them or check out a park near you if you haven't already.
Late September through early December is a perfect time to go out to the park and enjoy the amenities that we have.
I met up with Lakeisha Dickens from the city's Parks and Rec department at one of our largest, most popular, and more established parks, Lorenzi Park. She says all of our parks have great amenities, and some, like Lorenzi, have features that may be unexpected for first-time visitors.
So at most parks, of course, we have picnic areas, we have barbecue grills, but we also have some parks that have volleyball, outdoor volleyball. We also have skate parks, dog parks, and also roller rinks. So here at Lorenzi Park, we have the lake area where they can fish. You have to have a fishing license. And also out at Floydland Park, you can also fish there. They stock catfish at Floydland Park, and then we also have naturally stocked bluegill at one of the 4 lakes there.
The parks are a great place for family gatherings, parties, and even weddings. But Lakeisha says there are certain channels you must go through if you are hosting a large event.
So for birthday parties, we ask that if you have 75 people or less, that you reserve a picnic pavilion area. You can do that online at recreation.lasvegasnevada.gov, or you can call our 702-229-PLAY and speak with one of our representatives to get the park reserved. And then if you have an event that's over 100 people, it has amplified music, like a music festival or a large company picnic, then you would contact our special events office at 702-229-1087.
Something new to our parks is pop-up parks, a sort of surprise van filled with fun and games.
So Pop-Up Recreation is our mobile recreation program with the City of Las Vegas. We go out to different parks and different wards and we just pop up and play. So we have field day type activities, arts and crafts, do a bunch of different things.
So if you have yet to discover the fun in our parks, there is no time like the present or the fall to get out there and see what's available at your neighborhood park. Here are those phone numbers once again. To host a party, you can call 702-229-PLAY. For special events with a larger crowd, call 229-1087. And for information on everything Parks and Rec, go to LasVegasParksandRec.com. By the way, if you'd like to reserve one of our organized sports fields, the number to call for that is 229-PLAY. Aside from all of our great parks, we also have a lot of great community centers and senior centers, and our senior centers are active, to say the least. Right now, we're going to take you to Doolittle Senior Center, where they're putting together some pretty little dresses for some young ladies in need.
I'm gonna need you guys to take those buttons out.
Lana Gilbert spends a good majority of her time here at the Doolittle Community Center.
I love doing things like this. We also do blankets for people that's in dialysis. We make blankets, we make tie blankets and regular crochet blankets. We make hats for homeless and scarves. We do a lot of different things here. We're Doolittle, and I'm all for it. I'm always in, let's do it, let's do it.
Today, these seniors are doing it right. They've teamed up with Alpha Kappa Alpha to help the sorority with a huge service project.
What we tried to do was find some unique pillowcases, throughout the stores, and we got them in various sizes because, of course, children come in all sizes. So we were able to find, the regular, the queen size, the king size pillowcases, and we tried to get them so that they would be decorative. We want the children in Haiti to be as fashionable as they can be.
When the seniors are done, they'll have over 200 dresses to send to little girls in Haiti, along with a cute purse to match each dress.
It'll have the handle there so they could carry it. And so then we have the bias tape that goes around here. We adorn them with different kinds. This one is very nice with the gold to match the gold pineapples.
We are such a family here. We are such a family.
You can tell when you walk through the doors of the center that what Cassandra says is true. Everyone here really cares about each other and has a desire to serve and help others in need.
It warms your heart to know that people care about people, because you don't often hear that. But as you said, when you walk in this door, we are one big family. We fuss, we fight, but we love each other. And, when we ask each other or need each other, we get things done.
And the seniors here certainly know how to get things done. Along with the pillowcase dresses, they take on many other wonderful projects that benefit those in our community.
This was crafted by our lovely Lana, who's over there sewing. So she is a fantastic crocheter, so she did this one. So we're taking these to Kids for Care.
I'm excited, and they can bring in all they got, and I'll just keep on sewing till it all gets done.
We just want to applaud the work that the seniors have done in supporting us in this effort, and I know that many, many children in Haiti will be blessed by the efforts.
I can't wait for them to see them. They're going to be excited.
Thank you, Sue Levitt, for that story. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to stay on this history theme and take you to the historic 5th Street School for an annual event that brings out literary.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Welcome back to City Beat from Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs. Opening up a book is a great way to open up your life to adventure, education, and fun. That's why every year the Office of Cultural Affairs here in the city of Las Vegas hosts an event that attracts locals and visitors who love to read of all ages. Now, it's in its 18th year, and they are always striving to switch things up. This year, they did that in a big way. Every year, those who attend the Las Vegas Book Festival have a wide variety of books, speakers, and activities for the kids and the adults. But this year, attendees could also feast their eyes and their palates on a feast, literally.
This year, for the 18th annual Las Vegas Book Festival, we have added back cooking into the festival. So we earlier this morning had a demonstration from Chef Vincent from Mon Ami Gabi, the very popular restaurant on the Strip. We also had a demonstration in our main auditorium from 2 popular chefs from America's Test Kitchen as they celebrate their 20th anniversary. And then this afternoon, we'll have a demonstration from the University of Nevada at Reno's Extension School here in Las Vegas from their kitchen science program.
Along with the food and cooking exhibits and booths that were available, there were the old favorites, like a ton of activities, readings by authors, and books focusing on kids. There were also the always popular poetry readings,
pressed into rocks. Some become permeable.
And panel discussions on trending topics.
I think the cooking has attracted a lot, but I also think that our literary committee this year did an amazing job putting together incredible panels.
A lot of people turned out to hear experts speak on everything from politics to faith-based topics.
They'll be assessing the Trump presidency 3 years in. That's generating a lot of excitement. I know people are really curious about that. We've had panels on writing about faith. We have another panel about the Bundy movement that's generating a lot of excitement. So I think we have just a really, really great program this year that's enticing a lot of people to come out.
This festival is possible due to the city's great partnership with the Nevada Humanities, the Las Vegas Clark County Library District, and the Nevada Arts Council. But it's made even greater due to something we actually have no control over.
Well, we could not have been blessed with better weather, and that always helps with the Las Vegas Book Festival. Having it in the middle of October is the perfect time of year. The weather is always gorgeous.
Congratulations to our Office of Cultural Affairs and all of our city partners for another great book festival. Well, that does it for another great city beat from Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs. If you have not checked out this park, you simply must. It is located right off Durango near Grand Teton in the Great Northwest. We're going to stay in the Great Northwest as we take you to another autumn favorite spot, Gilcrease Orchards. We'll see you for the next City Beat.